Okay, I think we're recording now. So, today, I decided let's stay away from the horror games for a little bit. You know, it's late. But, tell me if you guys are rocking with the new fit. Pink bandana, golden glasses. But, today, we're gonna watch a video. And that video is called The Unfair Advantages of Your Height by Almondtheartist. Now this guy's pretty good. I watched some of his content. I'm subscribed. I like this video so I could save it for later because I've seen this around. Almondtheartist is probably one of my favorite creators, so we're gonna be reacting to him. So this is The Unfair Advantages of Your Height by Almondtheartist. Credits to him. He made this, not me. Go check out his stuff. He's pretty good. But this is what we're going to be reacting to today. So let's get right into it.
Or height. But instead of just
That's loud.
listing them, I actually these are the unfair advantages of your height.
Okay.
But instead of just listing them, I actually ranked all of them and even declared one the king of all.
What do you guys think the best height spot would be? I'm thinking maybe something like 6 foot. That's a pretty good height. You can reach stuff. It's not too tall though.
All heights. It's right behind that door all the way up there. But in order to get to it, I have to go through all of the
Obviously.
heights. So we're starting at the absolute bottom. The single worst height in the world. 7 foot to 8 foot 11. Only a couple thousand people alive are above 7 feet. And only about 20 in the history of the world have ever scraped 8 foot and taller.
Whoa. That's insane. Only like, wait, what did you say?
And only about 20 in the
20? That's crazy. I'll be quiet though, it was late. Okay.
history of the world have ever scraped 8 foot and taller. Biomechanically, they have incredible reach, and they have the longest stride of any of the other heights, massive lungs, and a large heart, and very powerful throwing leverage. Plus, their tall, slender bodies might actually be better at dissipating heat faster, making them
I didn't know that. Because, like, I would assume because they're bigger, that their body would dissipate heat slower. I mean, that's actually kind of cool.
theoretical beast when it comes to cardio intense activity. If you had this guy back in the day hunting, he'd be an absolute weapon, telling you. But if he's so good, why is he ranked so low? At this height, those wicked advantages are completely overshadowed by their disadvantages, which means it's time for a scroll of foibles. Foibles means disadvantages, by the way. So this is a list of disadvantages. At this height, you might eat a lot more food. Like, I'm talking like a wow. Plus, you have extreme cardiopulmonary strain with your heart and lungs. That, coupled with severe skeletal instability, completely cancels out any enhanced physical capability. It sucks. But that's not where the sucking stops. You also...
That's not where the sucking stops. Okay, I'm sorry. Never again. Never again. Click off the video. No, I'm kidding. Please don't. Please. Please. I need to feed my family. Okay.
also have intense organ stress and a severely depleted lifespan, ruling out any health advantages. Also, life at this height becomes violently inconvenient. Overall, I'd give this height a solid 2 out of 10. And I'm gonna call this guy the Colossus of the Height Kingdom. Oh yeah. Next, height.
Guys, I'm actually 20 feet tall. If you guys didn't know, I'm actually super duper tall. I'm actually taller than anybody in the world.
By around 0.0001% of the adult population of the world. 2 foot to 3 foot 11
Obviously.
tall. Due to their small body.
I get that tall has a lot of disadvantages, but how is 2 foot tall? How is being 2 foot tall better than being extremely tall? Bro, that's like, you can't even get like in a seat properly. You probably have to have a stool up to a seat. Oh, that must suck.
These guys require the least amount of food of any of the other heights, making them probably the most sustainable height for a human being. Theoretically, they also have a lower risk of cancer. Basically, because their bodies have fewer cells, there's fewer chances for those cells to unexpectedly mutate, and thus less chance of cancer. And you're going to see relatively high bone densities, compact builds that yield excellent strength-to-weight ratio, and a phenomenal balance. Unfortunately,
the disadvantage is gonna be like they have a shorter lifespan because I don't know. I think they die too quickly.
Heights like these are almost exclusively caused by severe dwarfism, which limits their physical capabilities, resulting in a big fat pop.
Isn't it because like the organs are compressed so tightly that it can lead to like knots in the stomach and just extreme health problems?
Pile of foibles. A scroll of
Yeah, y'all can think I'm smart. I'm smart like that. I'm smart. I am better.
What don't these guys have? Holy moly. We got spinal stenosis, which is severe compression of the spine, compressing vital nerves. We also have chronic pain, neurological compression, sleep apnea, limb deformities, joint problems, infections, and mobility limits.
But like, that's what I'm saying. How is this ranked higher than being extremely tall? Like, there's a lot of strain on your organs. Okay, don't do like extreme physical activities. These guys can't do anything.
Plus a reduced average lifespan, just like your lifespan if you don't subscribe. Overall, I'll give this guy a solid 4 out of 10. And I'm calling them the Wisps of the Kingdom of Heights. Now, we're getting into the top 3 heights ever devised by man.
I'm gonna say 5'7" for maybe 2 or 3. Actually, you know what? 4 foot for number 3 maybe, and 5 foot for number 2. Maybe 5 foot for number 3. Because apparently being short has its advantages because you gotta eat less. So I'm gonna say 4 foot like 11 is number 2, and then 5'7" something is number 3.
Man, heights weren't really devised by man, but you get it. This is where advantages start obliterating disadvantages, but I'll get to them later. In 3rd place, held by around 2% of adult females and 0.1% of adult males. 4 foot to 4 foot 11. Not only do they have lower risk of
cancer. I said 5 foot for. I said maybe. 4 foot 11's probably got its advantages.
Similar to their shorter stature brethren, lower caloric intake, superior balance, and a crazy strength to weight ratio. Whoa. But at this height, we see much faster limb movement. Because of their shorter limbs, they can complete movement.
Okay. Let's continue.
It's much faster than longer ones. This allows them.
I got some moves. Okay, continue.
To have more steps per minute or even strikes per minute depending on what sport they're in. Plus, they have superior rotational potential. What does that mean? I don't know, but I looked it up. A smaller body with shorter limbs has a smaller window of inertia. This allows for these guys to spin in the air much faster than their taller counterparts.
Supersonic.
All of those advantages make them fantastic for activities such as gymnastics, diving, figure skating, Olympic, weightlift, martial arts, and acrobatics, making them absolute athletic beasts. But these...
So then why is it ranked so low? Because like, I would think 4 foot with all these advantages, and they probably outshadow most of the disadvantages. They'd probably just like number 2.
Guys have some interesting drawbacks, and I'll explain all of those with today's sponsor, ZocDoc.
Okay,
but
hold on.
There's one more advantage I have to talk about before I get into the scroll of foibles. They also might have better heat retention, making them phenomenal in the cold. The scroll of foibles. Number 1, higher blood pressure. This could be absolutely catastrophic. And most people completely forget to get this checked out. No one likes getting on the phone to book an appointment or finding a decent doctor in a pinch. My sponsor ZocDoc seriously helps lungs, which might be problematic for endurance. Just like number 2, during a pinch, my sponsor ZocDoc's for endurance. Just like how my endurance is tested whenever I call the doctor. It's hours on the phone and they're like, oh, well, we have an opening next month. Number 3, shorter people also have a high likelihood of developing high cholesterol. This is where
so it seems to be like a lot of blood-related problems. So like blood cholesterol. I'm so tired. I'm going to bed. After the stream, I'm going straight to my medi bed. Right over there. It's nap time for me. Why am I so weird? Okay. Dude, it seems like to be like blood-related problems. And let me guess, it's probably because they're shorter, so they're gonna have a lot of pinched nerves too.
ZocDoc would be extremely helpful. They completely bypass the frustration of making appointments or finding a new doctor. Look at this. I want a doctor you can 2 hours for the 4 before. And because I just need the kind of time or help. Get started on a condition colloquially known as a small pelvis, which can lead to birthing complications. Woo!
Okay. So the women are nerved. But like, it seems to be like a lot of just because like less problems, more like the midgets' problems. Due to their smaller bodies, it's hard to get bigger functions done, like birthing and other stuff. Which I guess would make sense, but it's a lot less of a problem. I would assume it's a lot less of a problem. Because, like, for women, it's like, what 11's like that tall. Look about that tall. Oh, you guys can't see it. It was like about that tall. So, yeah. It's not that small. But I can see how that would be a problem. Okay. Continue. Button.
Yeah! All in all, though, these guys are absolute monsters. I give it an 8 out of 10. And it's only third.
Makes sense. So I'm guessing 5 foot is probably because it's close to 4 foot, but you could be bigger, so it's got less disadvantages.
Place! Can you imagine that? Imagine what the last 2 are. I think I'll dub this guy the Rogue of the Kingdom of Heights. I'm honestly flabbergasted that I found anything better, but we got more. And it's actually very likely you yourself have this height. At the number 2 spot, held by 75% of adult men and 95%
5'9". I know my math.
5% of adult women. Introducing 5 foot to 5'11". These guys are strict.
I was close enough.
Up all-stars of heights. They have 0 outright disadvantages. None. Nada. Zip. Zip-a-dubba. You know what I mean? And they're the most versatile, by which I mean they perform well in the cold, they perform great in the heat, they have great strength. Literally the strongest people that ever walked the earth were this tall. They have great endurance, they're fast. It's the choice that evolution made for humans to be today. And it's for good reason. While it is common, it is arguably the greatest height in the entire video.
That's why it's so common, because you know, you got evolution. Evolution always chooses the best path. Like bunnies that are usually darker colored fur in a whiter environment are going to evolve to be whiter so that their species can survive. Blah, 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 yapping. You guys probably don't want to hear that. I bet 17 of y'all just clicked off because I'm yapping. Anyway. Let's continue. Also, let me know. Y'all would agree 5'11" is basically 6 foot. It's like 1 inch off. I'm 5'11". Basically 6 foot. So I'm better than all y'all. Oh yeah, you did. That's what I did. Also, give me some slime. Basket.
Made for humans to be today, and it's for good reason. This is a 9 out of 10 height, and I think I'll dub thee the hero of the Kingdom of Heights. It's great for everything with 0 drawbacks, so it's literally fantastic. Now,
okay, so wait, if it has 0 drawbacks, then why isn't it first? Because if you said like 6 foot, that's gonna have back problems. That's a disadvantage.
the moment you've all been waiting for. The final height of the entire video. The single best height to be in the entire world. Many of you have already guessed it, held by around 2% of the world.
Only 2%? Jeez.
Population 6 foot
Okay.
to 6'11". But
I am goated.
why is it at the top? I've actively tried looking further into the subject of height. I wanted shorter people to be better, honestly. The 6 foot hype is too much. Everyone says, oh, 6 foot is better. 6 foot is better. 6 foot is number one. I wanted to shift the paradigm. I want to be cool and hip. But alas, the research said otherwise. It takes all the potential, all of the versatility, everything that comes with being 5 foot, but then also adds bigger lungs and heart, giving them phenomenal endurance, longer stride, making them faster, longer reach, giving a huge advantage in sports such as rock climbing, basketball, swimming, rowing, and volleyball. Longer arms can also operate as living catapults, maximizing leverage and making them phenomenal at throwing. They also have superior strength. However, this is overall strength, not...
I tried to flex you, but I'm pretty strong. I got some muscles on me. I got some muscles on me. I got some muscles on me, bro. Back to the video.
strength per pound. The shorter heights still edge out in that regard, but with more muscle and a larger skeleton, they're capable of actually moving more total pounds. However, unlike the 5 foot chads, this height actually does come with a scroll of fire.
Back problem.
They have a higher risk.
Back problems, higher risk of cancer. I'm guessing because I watched the video. Back problems, cancer, shorter lifespan, and needs more food.
Risk of cancer, higher AFib risk, more joint wear, and a higher risk of dangerous blood clotting. But really, they're only marginally more at risk versus their 5 foot counterpart, making this height the king of all heights and the only 10 out of 10 height in the entire list. What's this?
The population was a lot less than I thought, though. Only 2%, yet like 90% of the people I know are at least over 6 foot. We just don't have a lot of friends. We don't need any friends. But that is it for today's stream. No one really joined because it was a pretty quick stream. It was like 21 minutes. I'm not sure if there's anything else we could do. Again, go check out Almondtheartist. And see you guys next time.